decided to check in with some high schools to see what's being taught about this concept of the circle economy. Dustin Bajer has designed several sustainability projects around Jasper Place High School. Dustin, can you explain to me the needs and yields equation?
Sure. The idea behind needs and yields is really comes from ecology. In a forest, the end of every single process is the beginning of another one.
Can you give me a concrete example of how that's working maybe around the school?
A couple of years ago, we had a student at the school, Alex Villeneuve, who started taking some of our waste products here at the school and inoculating them with oyster mushrooms. So literally turning waste into the need of food.
Oh, maybe we'll have to go talk to him.
You really should.
Alex, can you tell me a bit about what you're doing here?
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're taking wasted brewer's grains, which are predominantly barley and wheat. We're able to take those and biologically enhance them with oyster mushroom mycelium. We produce mushrooms, which we can sell, and then as a byproduct of producing these mushrooms, we take the mycelium blocks and mix it with a couple of other ingredients and then feed it to cattle.
What are all the uses of the mushrooms?
So right now we're looking into permaculture applications, reforestation, oil field remediation, which is really exciting.
You were talking earlier about now there's all these breweries that are growing and they don't have a way to get rid of this waste. So how do you come into that equation?
Traditionally what brewers were used to do is they were located near the outskirts of cities or they were big enough, is what they would do is they would have farmers come in and take the grains away to use as feed, unenhanced. That isn't applicable anymore. They're right in the middle of downtown,
right.
Edmonton or downtown Calgary. You just can't have a farmer come in, it's not efficient. And what we will be doing in the next couple of months is we've already approached quite a few breweries, 8 breweries, and all of them have been very interested in working with us. We're going to be offering a spent grain removal service at significantly less than that they're paying already. So everything has a need and everything has a yield. I was just able to line up the outputs of the brewery that weren't being effectively utilized, and these mushrooms need that. So I was able to put them together, and now I have a really great operations.
Finding the yield or value in waste is an important part of the circle economy. It's sort of like the old making something out of nothing idea, but like with solar power, it's making use of something that's abundant and free. I went back to Dustin Bajer at Jasper Place High School so he could give me some examples of the circle economy in action. So Dustin, what is Rebel Breakfasts?
So it's really those kids who are coming in, don't necessarily have access to food in the morning, can come in, get free breakfast, and start the day with sort of a healthy, nourished mind. There's a few needs and yields at play here. So the kids are getting work experience credits. They're also doing some food handling skills, so there's a lot of work around food literacy. There's obviously a need for food as well. So really it's the coming together of all of these.
Why did you decide to start Rebel Breakfasts?
Well, there's a tremendous amount of food insecurity in the province. This is a fairly diverse part of the city, and so there's some food insecurity here as well. There's a lot of students who are going to classes without that proper nutrition, and we feel fairly confident in saying that that students who are having those basic needs met are likely to be more successful when it comes to their academic work.
Can you tell me more about other programs like this that are going on around the school?
We also have a fantastic culinary arts program. So culinary arts at the school here, it's one of the only schools that the kitchen itself is actually run by a culinary arts program as opposed to a third-party provider. We've done a lot of quirky projects around living walls and food forests, and so food has kind of been a bit of a theme over the last couple of years.
Cool. Andrew, you're a student here at Jasper Place. What kind of sustainability projects have you been participating in?
Well, for a while I worked with my brother on designing and building a living wall, which the original one didn't turn out quite right, but Mr. Bajer took it and tweaked it, and now it's working good. It's meant to create a sustainable loop where the plants filter the water for the fish, and the fish, their waste, fertilizes the plants. So yeah, that was meant to grow culinary herbs for the culinary arts program.
So we're in the Global Cafe right now. Are there any sustainable projects going on in here?
Yes, actually. There's the benches along the back and then the tables there. The artist decided that at the same time that he was designing the space, they were renovating the center gym floor. So he decided that, hey, I'm going to take that and I'm going to make these awesome tables out of it. And also the bar here is made out of pallets.
What are you planning on studying next year?
Next year I'm hoping to get into the University of Alberta for a general science degree.
And do you think your time here had any influence on that decision?
Oh, for sure. I think these ideas are going to stick with me forever because it's just such a better way to live. Like, you take something that you don't use anymore or you're going to throw out anyway and just use it for something else.
You can follow me online at sustainablemeyeg.ca, on Twitter at sustainableme, or on Instagram at sustainable.me. See you there! And if you liked this video, please check out our other videos on YouTube.